So the program consists of the Collaboration and Knowledge Sharing Conference. It actually came out of the TIM portal, or having a platform to share our learnings and to share the trials and the information and so forth that we've gathered as part of the IWN group. It's grown to incorporate digital metering, and a fourth project under the program is the expansion of the MRWA approved products portal to be more than just the metro retailers, so that other Victorian water utilities can use that. So the IWN conference really came out of Rowan asking me to do a plan for the program for the year ahead, and I went, well, I've only got really one project, the TIM project, so I better expand on that. Well, how about we do a conference? And the idea with the conference was to do something that was low cost, easily accessible for all the people across the Victorian water industry, but also be available for those people that don't normally get to attend conferences, don't normally get to network, and to provide an opportunity for people to grow and learn by presenting to people, practicing their presentation skills, perhaps hearing some Ozwater presentations that they hadn't been able to get up to Ozwater for, and just generally providing an opportunity for connection for people that otherwise don't get it. So we had 82 attendees. When we started this, we thought, how many people are we going to get putting their hand up? Is it going to just be an IWN roadshow, or are we really going to get some genuine interest? So we're really happy to get 82 attendees, 21 presentations. In fact, we got more than that. We had to say no to a few because we simply didn't have time. All the water corporations that are involved in IWN attended on the day, and it was hosted by South East Water at their venue, which allowed us to keep it low cost. So we had a keynote presentation from the same people that did the integrated water management workshops around the state, and they came and spoke to us about the same thing as they spoke to those people about, which was elephants and orchestras, how we collaborate effectively together. And one of the things they said was, don't iron in the wrinkles. That was one of the key messages up front, and I guess that's talking about don't just keep doing things the way you've always done them and iron in those wrinkles. You know, identify that those wrinkles are there and do something about getting them out and, you know, starting your collaboration from an effective place. They talked about tuning your instrument, so having a double-sided value proposition. So understanding the purpose for collaborating, what's in it for you and what's in it for the people that you want to collaborate with, and have a really clear message on how you want to see the benefits to all people in that collaboration group. And they talked about developing a straw horse, or I assume that's a plan about how you expect that collaboration to continue. And then they talked about tuning your orchestra, testing your assumptions, talking to people, not just going with your assumptions and thinking that everybody's going to be on the same page as you. And take the time to make sure that you understand where other people are coming from and adjust your expectations, or tune your instrument. So adjust your thinking to ensure that that collaboration is effective. And finally, they talked about rehearsing or practicing the craft of collaboration. So it doesn't always just come easily. You know, sometimes you try one way of going about it and it might not work as well. So try again, tweak it, and just keep practicing, and design for dissonance. So just expect things to go wrong. And, you know, probably a few project managers in the room. If you've project managed a few jobs, you'd realise now that, you know, your project management plan is something to go back to when everything else falls off or goes wrong. But, you know, that's what we do. Expect things to go wrong, but make sure you know the path ahead. And so I think everybody enjoyed that. It was a little bit quick, but it was good to start the day off. And then we had presentations from people across the water industry, IWN members. The first session was about putting the customer front and centre, and we heard about some great stuff that Vicky Scott's organised with a local primary school in Shep, where the staff actually donate their time to go along and sit with the kids and help them with their reading recovery, which is really helping some underprivileged kids and getting the Water Authority workers out there into the community and helping out. There was also a presentation on hardship customers. The example was a lady who had tens of thousands of dollar water bill because she had a leak in her roof and wouldn't allow anybody in to fix it, and how they went about ultimately resolving that eventually. It was a very interesting story and a great example of what can be done with the hardship customers. And then David from Barwon Water talked to us about their Indigenous engagement partnerships and how they go about engaging with the Indigenous people or the Aboriginals in their area, and doing sort of site visits and things like that up front as part of the induction of their organisation, which was really good. And then we looked at innovation and collaboration, and we had some sort of more technical presentations on rehabilitation of asbestos main, which was an Oz Water presentation. We talked about digital metering and frost protection out in the west. Lessons from Interstate Operations and Innovations, which was Vince Vella from Western Water, and virtual reality in the water industry, which is a really, really entertaining presentation from Brock at City West Water there. He had an example of, putting VR headsets on kids and taking them on, virtual tours around our plants, which would be a great way to educate them as to what we do for them in the community. Then we looked at collaborative approach to water reticulation modelling, and Sandeep Jolly from North East Water talked about how we went about engaging people across his business and onboarding them into the new modelling software that he was trying to implement in the business. So that was a great people piece. Innovative use of drones with Harry. I think this was a picture of their drone that they trialled. And catchment carbon offsets, the Jellybrand case study that Julie Risman presented, and I think, Rowan, we've sent out some further comms on that since then for some follow-up. We looked at alternative sewer servicing, so solar pressure sewers, the community sewerage program that we're doing at Yarra Valley Water, and some challenges with that, and some changes that have been made based on public's ability to on board with that program, and H2S management in pressure and gravity sewer, hybrid sewers from Lisa. And then we heard from Western Water about microbial field monitoring for water and wastewater applications from Rebecca. And she talked about how easy it was to go out and use this piece of equipment to sample water and get some real-time results if we've got some concerns about water quality. So that was a really fantastic presentation as well. And then we had water and integrated water management. Risk management planning. And Dion talked about Colaban Water's journey with, it was actually recycled water, wasn't it?
No, actually
reclaimed water, yep. Improving water quality in raw water with hex cover trickle filters out there in East Gippsland Water. Their experience there, integrated water management plan guidelines for developers, what Western Water are doing in their growth areas, and planning for high growth, integrate multiple water supply systems and understanding uncertainty. Tim Hatt finished the day with that presentation. So overall, I thought it was really fantastic that we got so many people willing to come and present to us, but also such diversity in the topics that people discussed, and sort of it covered a lot of what we do in our water businesses day to day, not just in technical engineering pieces. And then we had drinks on the deck out there at South East Water, which was lovely, nice sunny day. And so I conducted a survey of what people thought about the conference. I got 34 respondents, so that's about 41%, so it's not too bad. Most of the people said it either met their expectations or exceeded them. So was it worthwhile attending? Yeah. Would they recommend their conference to their colleagues? So yes, 100% of them said yes, which is good. I asked whether people felt more comfortable about approaching people from other water corporations as a result of having the experience of attending this conference. So that collaboration aspect was part of it. We've got some no's and some maybes, so maybe there's a bit more we can work on. Questions 2 and 3 were open text responses. So there's a number of points in there that perhaps if the conference was run again, could be incorporated, like small work groups and so forth, to sort of assist with that collaboration or getting over the nerves of meeting new people and starting conversations and so forth. So the next project within the program is the TIM program. So this is, it's called Targeted Information Management because it's a hand-me-down from the Smart Water Fund. We're basically taking their platform and we're tweaking it to do what we want it to do. So all the functionality that was in that Smart Water product, we're dumbing down, we're turning off, and we're putting it away, and we're just simplifying it so that the platform is easier to use. We don't have any of those algorithms about voting and, you know, depending on the number of employees in a company, you know, if we get 3 votes from Melbourne Water, then it's really only worth 0.3 because of the number of staff. So we're turning all that stuff off. Vince Halloran from Yarra Valley Water's been working on this for a while now. In a couple of weeks' time, I think the Metro Region group will get together and have a little bit of a play with the platform as it looks now. We've sort of tweaked the look and feel and so forth. At the end of July, there'll be a version for beta testing and feedback by selected industry representatives. So be prepared to get an email asking for people to volunteer from your organisations to, you know, have a little bit of a play with this and give us some, you know, allocate the time so it's a genuine test of the product, but give us some really good feedback on what does and doesn't work. End of September, we're looking to have a live version of the site ready for onboarding of all users. Then there'll just be evolutionary version upgrades until we get most of the bugs out. And hopefully by the end of February 2019, that'll be it, delivery of the final version. I've got a summary of the functionality here, but I can put that up somewhere else because we're already 6 minutes past break time. But essentially, it's somewhere you can go to find the reports on the trials that we've done at IWN, links to interesting articles or whatever that people think about posting, and also a collaborative space where people can chat and sort of say, has anybody got any ideas on how I get some struvite out of this rising main? And other interested people can reply to that and say, oh, you know, we tried the limonene and it worked really good. So, yeah. So that's just a bit more about the functionality, and it'll be structured based on current programs and past programs, and you'll drill down through the programs into the projects, and under the projects there'll be documentation. Rowan's heading up the digital metering project, where he's getting all the people that are working on digital metering together to talk about what they're doing and how they're doing it. He held a gathering of 40 attendees from all the water corporations, and they've developed 9 case studies of activities in the industry with updates from external bodies. So progressing on business cases for the Victorian Water Corporation. So assume each individual water corporation is progressing on that, and they're developing their data and processes. So they've found that the successful business cases typically have CapEx deferment element. Technology is changing rapidly, and expect more business cases to come in the next pricing period. I guess it's a bit like the batteries, you know, you've got to wait till things become price competitive. Completed status of the survey in February, and more collaboration workshops to come. That's a photo of them having their workshop. And the final project under the program is the MRWA approved products portal. So some of you may know that there's the website that's got a listing of all the products approved by Yarra Valley Water, City West Water and South East Water. And we're looking to expand that to have the other rural water authorities in that as well. That'll be an opt-in thing. Michael and David will be organising a workshop to scope those works in the coming weeks. So again, champions, expect an email asking you to find out within your business whether or not it's something you want to be involved in, and then reply and get on board. Thank you. That's all I have.